How's it going? Today I am going to talk about domain names, cold email domain names, why you need them, what's important about them, why if you do cold email and you don't have them, you're screwing yourself over. And then we're going to talk about how to name them, and I'll show you how to use ChatGPT to come up with as many as you like. So to start with, let's talk about the setup. Imagine that we own example.com here. Very original name, I know. And we want to send emails to different leads and prospects. So what we would do is we would set up cold email domains. And you can see the cold email domains here. And what we would do after that is send emails to the prospects. The prospects would be super happy and they would send us emails back, and then we would have a wonderful time getting appointments and getting new clients, which is awesome. The problem of not having cold email domains set up is if you just send emails from your main domain, not every prospect is going to be super happy. It's not that they're going to be, it's not that they're not going to be happy because you're sending it from your original domain, but some people don't like getting emails. Some people are grumpy. Maybe they've had a bad day, whatever it is. They can send, they can flag you as spam, and then your email provider is going to be very, very mad, and he might mark you as spam as well. So what that means is that we're going to have a domain, which is our main business domain, marked as spam. And that's a problem, because if your main domain is marked as spam, you can't send any emails to people. Like, you can't send emails to customers, basically anyone. Like, all your emails are going to start getting flagged as spam, and you won't be able to communicate with that domain. That sucks. That's really bad for your business. So we want to avoid that. And to avoid that, what we do is we set up these cold email domains. And then if you send an email to a guy and he's really mad, or it's not just if they're mad and they mark you as spam, like, you could just send too many emails from a domain per day, and Gmail doesn't like that. And then Gmail, or doesn't have to be Gmail, but let's say it's Outlook, whatever the provider you're using is, they can just mark you as spam. But in this case, if we're using cold email domains, one of our domains gets marked as spam, and it's not good for that domain, but we have backups. We have two other ones that we can use in this example, and in the real world, we'll have many more. And our main domain here, that's safe. That's not marked as spam. We can still use it very comfortably. So that's the main reason why you need them. Now, let's go over how to name them and what are some good examples of that. So we've got 3 points here. These are the 3 points that I think are the most important. The first one is that when we're naming these domains, we want them we still want to keep our brand name attached, right? Like, we don't want people to look at the name and then not really realize who it's being sent from, or that we don't want them to confuse our branding with something else. So the best way to do that is to use very, very short very short words before our brand name. So for example, I've got here some examples of that, where if our domain was called devcoffee.com, which would be coffee for developers, some good ones would be getdevcoffee.com, joindevcoffee.com, or if we can't use it before, if it sounds a bit funny, then you can use a short word after. So in this case, I've written devcoffeechat.com. The second point, which is also quite important, this is for the perception of people who see the domain. So if you receive a cold email from someone and you see hyphens or special characters in the domain, it's just like if you go to a website and you see hyphens or special characters, people perceive that as being scammy or untrustworthy, and that's just the world we live in. That's the way that people's it's not the way people's brains work, but it's the way that we, as browsing online, have started to perceive threats of scams. We don't like to see hyphens or special characters in names. So a bad example would be something like my-devcoffee.com. That wouldn't be a really good cold email domain to use. And the final point is .com. So what we want to do is we want to try to keep our domains to .com. So if you use things like .info, .shop, you can use them, but they're less they're less trustworthy in people's eyes. .com is very trustworthy. It's been a staple of the internet since it's begun. So people trust .com a lot more. They have a higher good perception of .com compared to other ones. So if you can use .com, use .com. It's a much better option. So, and I've just also written here, like as an example, if we use something like innovative.devcoffee.com, that kind of sticks with the first example, use short words. It's way too long. It kind of takes away from the brand name or meaning, which is not really what we want. So cool. Now that we know that, we know how we should name them, we know why we need them. Now let's go generate them. So using ChatGPT, I've made this prompt. Now, mind you, I used GPT-4 for this. I tried to use GPT 3.5. He loses his marbles sort of halfway through generating. You could work on the prompt a bit more to try to make it a bit better, but I found that if you use GPT-4, he does a much better job at this. So I'll post this prompt in the description so you guys can use it as well. But basically what it says is, given a domain name, in this example, we've used devcoffee.com, and the guidelines that are provided, I want you to generate 100 potential domain names. And yeah, what we can do is just hit enter, and as you'll see, he'll generate all the different domains, and they all use very, very short words and keep on brand. So brew dev coffee, that's pretty good. Yeah, so that's it. I hope that you learned something from this video, and yeah, if you have any questions, please feel free to email me, and I hope that you have a great day. Good luck.